There's actually a wedding going on outside. I don't know if you all can hear. Can anybody hear like like music playing behind me? Does anybody hear that? No? Oh, okay. All right. Well, right now I'm actually in West Africa right now, and somebody's getting married in a traditional wedding ceremony, and there are drums playing in the background. Um, but you all can't hear the drums, so great. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next part. So this is a fill the blank question. Now, when we're doing a fill the blank question, what do we need to pay attention to? Who can tell me what we need to pay attention to when we're looking at a fill the blank question? The keywords, right? The keywords before and after the blank line, right? They're going to use synonyms for those. Okay? They're going to use synonyms for those. We also have to watch for them switching the word order. And what I mean by that is very often what they'll do is they'll take the words that are before the blank line and then they'll switch them in order, right? So, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you need me to give you an example when I say switching the word order? Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yeah, synonym language. But when I say switching the word order in the question to make it confusing, do you understand what I'm talking about, or do you need me to give you an example of what I'm talking about? Yes. Okay. All right. So do you see what I did in part A? It says around 50, and then when they're speaking, they say the number 50 first, and then they say the synonym for the word around, which is approximate. Right? So very often they do that in terms of switching word order to make it a little bit more difficult. And you really see that in part number 4, right? Switching word order, right? Switching word order. So let's go ahead and listen to this part, and let's try to get the answers, and I'll try to point out to you what they're doing. Now, something else that they do to make it difficult is they use a reference pronoun, right? They use a reference pronoun to try to make it difficult. Okay, and what I mean by that is they'll say the answer early, and then later on when they're speaking, they'll connect the answer to the keywords in the question, but instead of saying the answer word directly, they'll use a reference pronoun. All right, now when that happens in one of these questions, I'll try to point it out for you so you can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's listen and then we'll talk about it.
Section 3. You will hear a trainee music teacher called Joe talking to his supervisor about the school marching band that he has been given responsibility for. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
So, how are you getting on with your teaching practice at the high school, Joe?
Well, I've been put in charge of the school marching band, and it's quite a responsibility. I'd like to talk it over with you.
Go ahead. You better start by giving me a bit of background.
Okay. Well, the band has students in it from all years. So they're aged 11 to 18, and there are about 50 of them altogether. It's quite a popular activity within the school. I've never worked with a band of more than 20 before, and this is very different.
I can imagine.
They aren't really good enough to enter national band competitions, but they're in a regional one later in the term. Even if they don't win, and I don't expect them to, hopefully it'll be an incentive for them to try and improve.
Yes, hopefully.
Well, now the town council's organizing a carnival in the summer, and the band has been asked to perform. If you ask me, they aren't really up to it yet, and I need to get them functioning better as a band, and in a very short time.
Have you been doing anything with them? Apart from practicing the music, I mean.
I played a recording I came across of a drummer talking about how playing in a band had changed his life. I think it was an after-dinner speech. I thought it was pretty inspiring because being in the band had stopped him from getting involved in crime. The students seemed to find it interesting too.
That's good.
I'm planning to show them that old film from the 1940s, Strike Up the Band, and talk about it with the students. What do you think?
Good idea. As it's about a school band, it might make the students realize how much they can achieve if they work together.
That's what I've got in mind. I'm hoping I can take some of the band to a parade that's going to take place next month. A couple of marching bands will be performing, and the atmosphere should be quite exciting. It depends on whether I can persuade the school to hire a coach or two to take us there.
They sound like good ideas to me.
Thanks.
Okay, let's talk about it. How about number 21? Does anybody have 21? Okay, great. 21 is 50. Now, that one was really straightforward. Instead of saying the word around, what word did they use? Does anybody remember? Instead of saying around. This one they made easy. They just used a synonym. They said what? About. Right? That one was straightforward. Now, how about number 22? Right? So look at so this is where it gets difficult. And this is what I was talking about earlier, and this is why I wanted to point this out to you. Because all of you got this wrong. Right? All of you got this wrong. Well, I'm sorry, not all of you got this wrong. So I'm looking at some of the answers. Well, let's see. No, let's see. Did all you get this wrong? Let's see. Anybody? No. Okay. One person got it right. No. A couple people got it right. All right. But we had half the people get it wrong. Correct answer was regional. Now, this is where I was talking about. This is where I'm talking about um, in terms of the language. This is what they said. Not good enough. Not good enough for national competition. They are in a regional one. This is what I was talking about earlier in terms of a reference pronoun, right? But they are in a regional one, right? They are in a regional one. One, the reference one refers to what? Regional one, right? So regional one refers to band competition, right? But it's a regional one. It's a regional band competition. All right. And also, as Ati pointed out, also, they did say the word but. Right? But they are in a regional one. All right. Regional one, regional band competition, due to play in a regional competition. 23. Who has 23? Is carnival. What they said is the town council is organizing a carnival. They've been asked to perform. So here they did what? They switched up the word order. Right? First they said the town is having a carnival. Then they said they've been invited to perform. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of switching or mixing up the word order in the sentence. Right? Switching or mixing up the word order. All right, number 24 is what? Drummer. 25. Film. Right? And what they said was, I will show an old film, and talk about it. So here they did what? What did they do? They switched up the word order. Right? They switched up the word order. First they said the answer, I'll show an old film. Then he said, and talk to them about it, which means discuss. So again, switching the word order, switching the words up. And number 26. Parade. And here they just use synonym language. Instead of saying the band will attend, he said, I'll take some of the band too. Right? So if he's going to take them to it, they're going to attend. But they're just paraphrasing. Right? So with these fill the blank questions, the way that they are raising the difficulty level is sometimes they switch up the word order. Sometimes they use paraphrasing, right? That's what they're doing a lot of, either paraphrasing or switching up the word order. Paraphrasing or switching up the word order. And that's what you have to be able to understand. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay.